Good morning. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the transverse load on beam. So myself, Mr. STALIN Kesavan, Assistant Professor in the Department of Marine Engineering. So generally, when we talk about a beam, so it is a structural member which carries transverse load. That is load which are perpendicular to the axis of the beam. So that we call it as transverse loading. So in this lecture, we are going to learn about what are the different types of loads that can be applied on a beam. So the first type of load is called as point load, where the concentration of the load is going to be acting on a single point on the beam. Say for example, if we take any building structure, we have beams, and on the beams the concrete slabs are there, and those are acting perpendicular to the beams. So point load is a load where the entire concentration going to be acting in a single point. So that is why it is called as a point load. Say for example, if we are going to hit a nail using a hammer, the nail is going to pierce into the structure in only one point. So that is called as a point load. The second load is called as an uniformly distributed load. As I told you about the building structures, the entire roof is going to be supported by a single beam. So in this, concrete slabs are 7 inches thickness, and it is going to be evenly spread, and that can be calculated by the load into the spread area, and that is called as uniformly distributed load. And the third type of load is called as uniformly varying load. So what is the difference between point load, UDL and UVL is, in UVL, the concentration of the load varies from one point to another point. So that is called as triangular load. Say for example, if we have a long structures where the bridge is going to be supported by cables. So if you notice that there will be a center column, and from that the iron ropes are going to be held in the entire length of the bridge. So it means that at each point, so there is going to be a different types of weight that is going to be acting on it. So that is called as an uniformly varying load, and sometimes it is called as triangular load. Say for example, here the load is calculated by the area of a triangle, so which is basically half into base into the height. So that means the height of the cable and the base of the cable and the hypotenuse side. So that will give you the load that is going to be accumulated in a uniformly varying load. So the what are the different types of varying loads are something like where you have different variations. So common scenarios like hydrostatic pressures. So when a pressure is applied in the hydrostatic, that means in the fluids, the load is not going to be equally distributed. That means it is going to have varying points. So the maximum load can be causing the load distribution. So this is an example for uniformly varying load. So in this lecture, we have discussed about what is a beam and what are the different types of loads that can be applied on a beam. So especially these beams are built by carrying the transverse load, that means perpendicular loads. So normally there is different types of load like axial load and transverse load. In axial load, the load are going to be acting parallel to the axis, whereas transverse load are going to act perpendicular to the axis. So thank you.